taking the feet a little bit wider than hip width and just turning the feet out slightly as well, because we're going to start with a side bend in a moment. So just finding that wider base of support. So still think about stacking the spine into neutral, spreading the feet into the floor, nice and stable through the pelvis. So just tucking the tailbone under slightly and drawing in through the center. Try and avoid shifting through the pelvis or swaying the hips as we start to move. So just feeling length out through the top of the head, drawing the shoulders down the back, feeling open across the chest. And just taking a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Gently connected with the abdominals. We're going to start with a side reach. So the right arm first. On an inhale, float the arm up, reaching above the head, letting the shoulder drop onto the back, try and avoid lifting around your ear. And on the exhale, reaching over. So we're getting this nice lateral release down the side of the body. Try and avoid shifting the hips or the pelvis. Inhale as you restack, and exhale, float the arm down. Same on the other side. Inhale as you float the arm, and exhale, reaching over, nice and stable again through the hips. Inhale as we restack. Exhale, float the arm down. One more each side. Inhale to float the arm. Exhale to reach over. Let the head go with you. Inhale, restack. Exhale, float the arm down, and one more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Floating both arms together now, just reaching above the head, looking towards the top of the room, just so you're opening up that front line of the body and bringing the spine into a little bit of extension. And we're going to come into a roll down. So take a breath. And as you exhale, start to nod the head, floating the arms with you as you roll it down through the spine. Feel that you draw the rib cage into the back of the body and just gently scoop the tummy in, keeping the knees nice and soft. And when you're ready, taking a breath and breathing out as we start to roll back up, stacking the spine, floating the arms again, reaching to the top of the room, and again, inhale, exhale, rolling it down when you're ready. Flexing the spine, rolling back up on an exhale again when you're ready, and then we'll slightly change it. Stacking the spine, reaching again into extension. And now just return the spine to neutral, eyes forward with the arms still above the head. And now we're just going to twist slightly over to the right. So think about looking to the right corner of the room. Try and avoid the hips twisting round with you as well. So a little bit of movement, but not too much. And we're going to roll it down on this side. Inhale. Exhale, rolling it down, nod the head. Drawing the rib cage in, scoop the tummy in. Feel that you're coming down that right leg, reaching towards the foot. Go as far as you can. When you're ready again, take a breath. And breathing out again, rolling up on that right side. Again, we're going to reach to the ceiling, opening up that front line. We're going to do it one more time on this side. On the exhale, rolling it down. And rolling back up again when you're ready, stacking the spine, bone by bone, on that right side. And then again, return the spine to neutral, eyes forward, bring it back to the center. And now we're going to twist over to the left. Looking to the left corner of the room, and again, rolling it down on the exhale. Nod the head, roll it down on the left side. So coming down that left leg over the foot. Inhale when you're ready, exhale, rolling up. Stacking the spine again, reaching into that nice gentle extension. And one more, inhale, exhale, roll it down. And last time, rolling up on that left side. Stacking the spine, reaching to the ceiling. Again, just return the spine to neutral when you're ready, bringing yourself back to the center, looking straight ahead. And now just depending on where you are, if you need to, just shift yourself to the end of the mat, because we're now just going to roll it down to come onto the floor. So you can return the feet hip width and parallel, and let's roll it down now to come onto the floor. So inhale and exhale, rolling it down with the arms. Again, drawing the rib cage in, scooping the tummy in, and rolling it down. When you are ready, walk the hands out, bring yourself down onto the mat into all fours as I flip my camera around. There we go. So we're down onto the mats now. And just take a moment to just set yourself up here in 4-point kneeling. So if you need to, grab yourself a rolled towel or roll up the end of the mat for a little bit of wrist support if you think you might need it, or same for the knees. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, lengthened out through the tail and out through the crown of the head. Just gently drawing in through the center, avoid dropping through the rib cage, and just set the shoulders down the back, feeling connected. So we're going to flow some lovely movement together here for the spine. We're going to flow a cat stretch with rocking. We have done these before. We'll start it slow and then just try and find a nice flow to the movement. So let's take a breath. Breathing out, tucking the tail, curling through the spine, and tucking the head, coming into your nice long C curve into cat stretch. Hold it here as you inhale. And now exhale as you unravel from the tail, bringing the head through and coming into extension. So slightly hanging in the mid-back. Hold it here. Inhale. Exhale now as you start to rock back towards the heels. Tucking the tail, tucking the head. So you're gently rounding the spine as you take it back. Hold it there as you inhale again. And now exhale as you draw it forward with that flexed spine back into your cat stretch. And let's flow it together. So on an exhale, unravel into extension. Inhale. Exhale, rock back. Tuck the tail, tuck the head. Inhale. Exhale, draw it forward into cat and keep it going. Unravel into extension. Rock back, tucking and rounding the spine. Drawing it forward into cat. 3 more if you can. Just flowing the movement together. Really waking up and releasing the spine. Last one. Drawing it forward into cat with your last one. And as you unravel now, just return the spine to neutral, lengthening out through head and tail, gently drawing in through the center. So adding some rotation now through the thoracic spine. We're going to come into threading the needle. So just make sure that you don't sink back towards the heels. Keep the weight over the knees and over your supporting hand. We're going to start with the right arm first. So taking the right hand away and reaching up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. And as you breathe out, thread the arm through and follow so the spine comes into rotation. Inhale as you press away and reach back up to the ceiling. And exhale again, thread it through. 2 more. Inhale, press away and reach to the ceiling. Exhale, thread the arm through. 1 more time. And then bringing that hand back underneath you and just reset. We'll do the same on the other side. Left hand coming away, reach up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale as we press away, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, thread the arm through. 2 more. Pressing away, reaching. And threading it through. Encourage that rotation. Follow the arm. And bringing the hand back underneath you. Again, just reset the spine. Bring yourself back into neutral. Equal weight again over hands and knees. Now this one we're going to start releasing into the hips a little bit. This can be quite a big stretch. If it's too much, keep one knee down on the floor. And you can do this with just one leg out rather than both. So, walk the hands forward slightly, a little bit wider than shoulder width. We're going to take the right leg back first, tuck the toes. And then if you feel you can, taking the left leg back as well. So you're into a plank just briefly. We're not going to hold it for too long. We're going to bring the right foot forward, step towards the right hand. So right foot towards right hand. And just hold it there. It's a big stretch into the hip. Take a nice deep breath in. And let's step it back. Same with the left. So bringing the left foot round to the left hand as close as you can. Hold it there again, big stretch for the hip. Try and avoid sinking down or lifting your bottom. And let's step it back. We're going to add to it. So again, right foot coming to the right hand. And now taking the right hand away and reaching up for a nice big twist. Hold it there, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring the hand back to the floor and step the right leg back. Good, same on the left. Step forward to the left hand. Take the left hand away and reach up to the ceiling. Hold it there, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring the hand back down. Step back. And now let's lower the knees and send it back into rest position. Well done, that's a big stretch. Really lovely for hips. So just settling into rest position. Open out the knees here if you need to. Lower the forehead down towards the floor. And take some nice deep breaths in. With your next breath out, just slowly start to tuck the tail, roll yourself up, stacking through the spine, and just briefly coming into kneeling. And we are going to come round into our mermaid position. So we did these the other week. We talked about alternatives quite a lot. So if you need to, grab pillows or blocks to sit on. So wrapping your front leg round, in front of you, and the the back foot, just slightly flexed, so it's in line with the back of the mat. So you can rest that front foot onto the thigh if you can. You're not going to have equal weight on the sitting bones. You're going to be slightly lifted, but you just want to try and get your pelvis level as much as you can. And it might be that the pillow or the block underneath you can help find that nice stability through the pelvis. If this is too much, then feel free to come into cross-leg, that's fine, or into a long frog. You can still join in with the lateral reach, that's fine. So, into mermaid if you can, or find an alternative that works for you. You're going to float the arms out, shoulder height, palms facing down. So we're coming away from the feet, so I'm coming to the left. You might be mirroring me. So inhale and exhale. We're going to tip ourselves over, hand to the floor, reaching over. So you get this nice long stretch down that right side or the opposite side of the body. And now inhale, restack. Lovely. Exhale, coming back over when you're ready, down onto the hand. Soft elbows so you can reach yourself over. Inhale, restack. 2 more. Exhale, coming over. Inhale, restack. And exhale, coming over. Lovely. So stay there if you need to, especially if maybe you're sitting with legs crossed. Or this time we're going to add a little bit of lift to come into the hips slightly. So we're going to do the same again. We're going to take the hand a little bit further back behind us. So we're going to come over, take the hand back a little bit further than you did before, and then just lift yourself slightly and look down towards that hand on the floor. And then bring it back down, and now taking the hand behind you and just looking to the hand that's down on the floor. Same again on the other side. So we come up and over, hand behind, lift the hips and look down to the hand. Take it down, restack up and over to the other side, looking down to the hand. And again, restack up and over to the other side, lift the hips, looking down and coming back. Same to the other side, taking the hand down. And one more. Up and over to the other side, adding that little lift of the hips. Lower it down. Last time, over to the other side, looking down. Restack. Well done. And float it down and just roll the shoulders. So a nice fluid movement there. We're now going to sit to the end of the mat. So if you bring yourself round to the end and bring the legs down. Again, if you need to, feel free to sit on pillows or blocks here if you need to. And if you're a little bit tight in the hips, you might possibly want rolled towels or pillows underneath the knees just to give you a little bit of flex to take some of that tension out of the hips. So do feel free to soften the knees if needed. So flexing the feet, so you're getting a little bit of a stretch up through the back of the legs. Anchor them down as much as you can, lifting up and out of the hips. And we're going to take the hands back behind the head. So interlock the fingers, elbows in the corner of your eyes. Relax the shoulders, sitting nice and tall. Now I'm going to twist to the left first of all so that you can see me. We're going to take a breath. Breathing out as we twist. Take the left hand away, reach it down towards the floor. Inhale as you bring the hand back and twist back to the center. Exhale, twist to the right. Take the right hand away, reach it back towards the floor. Inhale, float the arm and bring it back to the center. Exhale to the left again, reaching back towards the floor. Inhale, return the hand, come back to the center. Exhale again to the right, reaching back. Inhale back to the center, one more each side. And bring it back to the center, staying stacked, lifted out of the hips. We're going to take the hands away, float them down shoulder height in front of you, palms facing down. And now you can point the toes away. Feel that you're reaching out through the feet and they're coming into spine stretch. Think about rounding and drawing the rib cage into the back of the body rather than it just coming from your hips. So we're going to take a breath, and as you breathe out, feel that you round the back and just reach the hands over the toes. So keeping the arms parallel to the legs. Inhale as you restack. And then exhale again, rounding and just reaching over. Inhale, restack. Exhale again, gently flex, draw the rib cage into the back of the body. Inhale, restack, 3 more. So really feel that you scoot the tummy in, rounding the spine, and just feel that you're really reaching out through the fingers. Last one. Restack when you're ready, and now this time we're going to roll it back to the floor, so come off pillows or blocks if you need to. On an exhale, just start to nod the head, tuck the tail, rolling it back all the way down to the floor, floating the arms back over the head for a moment for a nice big full body stretch. Taking a deep breath in. And let's float the arms down by our side and tuck the feet in. So coming into relaxation position, arms by your side, feet and knees about hip width and parallel, relaxing the shoulders and drawing down through the back of the rib cage. So we're going to really focus into the lumbar area of the spine and try and get some nice pelvic movement here. So it's known as pelvic clocks. Some of you have done these with me before, and the nice imagery to use to really help tune into the movement is the imagery that we've used before of a marble. So imagine that you have a marble resting on the top of your pelvis. So it's in between your belly button and your pubic bone. So we're going to try and make a nice circular movement. So you'll be taking the lumbar spine through flexion, extension, and rotation. So it does take a little bit of concentration. So first off, imagine your marble, and we're going to roll the marble towards your belly button. So you need to slightly tilt the pelvis, so the lower back slightly imprints the floor. Now think about rolling the marble towards your right hip. So you need to slightly rotate, lifting the left side of the pelvis slightly, and then continue to roll the marble down towards your pubic bone. So again, you need to tilt to send that marble down, and now rolling the marble over to the left hip. So you need to again slightly tilt, slightly rotate, lift the right side of the pelvis to help roll, and then bring it all the way back to the belly button. So roll it back. So let's try it 2 more times in that direction. So you're getting this nice circular movement from the belly button to the right hip, to the pubic bone, to the left hip, back to the belly button. And just slow it down and get as much movement as you can in each direction. When you've done roughly 3, let's now change direction and go the opposite way if you can. So from the belly button now down to the left hip, down to the pubic bone, up to the right hip, and back to your belly button. And 2 more. Just breathe naturally, try and avoid holding your breath even though you're concentrating, I'm sure. Not too big, just enough to roll that imaginary marble. When you are ready, again, roll it back to the belly button. And now let's bring that marble back to the center, finding neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Hopefully a little bit more movement there has released the lumbar spine. So now we've looked at the bottom of the spine, now let's look at the top of the spine and move into the head and the neck. So we're going to come into chin tucks here. So as you exhale, nod the head, so chin towards the chest. So just creating a little bit of length in the back of the neck, but try and avoid lifting your head off the floor. So you just slide and draw the chin down, and then inhale as you release. Exhale again as you nod. Inhale, release. Exhale to nod, chin to chest. Inhale, release. Exhale to nod, 2 more. It's quite subtle. Just getting a little bit of work there in the cervical spine. And release, and now rolling the head. So on an exhale, roll the head looking over one shoulder. Inhale, roll it back to the center. And exhale, rolling to the opposite side. So again, not lifting the head, just letting it roll nice and heavy on the floor. Releasing through the neck and the upper spine. One more each side. And back to the center. Lovely. So, eye line straight up to the ceiling, into our neutral spine, relaxing the shoulders and just taking the hands out slightly wider than the mat. And we're going to step the feet out a little bit wider than hip width to come into knee rolls. So we're going to gradually increase the range of movement here, starting just from the hips, and then eventually we'll bring the spine into the movement. So keeping it small, let's take a breath, breathing out, and just roll both knees over to the right. Not going too far, try and keep the back of the pelvis down, so it's quite small to start with. Inhale as you bring the knees back to the center, and now exhale, just let them roll over to the left. Again, keep the back of the pelvis down. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Now let's increase the movement. So exhale as you roll. Now let the pelvis slightly join in, so you feel that you slightly lift on one side as you roll the knees. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, roll to the opposite side, a little bit of a lift through the pelvis. And inhale, back to the center, again, increasing the range. Exhale as you roll, hips, pelvis, and feeling the lower back slightly coming off the floor. Inhale, roll it back to the center. Exhale over to the other side, hips, pelvis, lower back slightly coming out the floor. Inhale, bring it back. Again, exhale, roll, take it a little bit further again, and start to feel that the spine is peeling off on one side, but keeping the shoulder down. Inhale, back to the center again. Exhale over to the other side, again peeling off the mat slightly on that side, but keeping the shoulder down. Inhale, back to the center. Now just taking the arms a little bit higher now. So roughly in line with the shoulders, and really relax the arms and the shoulders down. And now rolling again and letting the shoulder slightly lift and peel from the floor. So you're almost rolling off completely on one side. Again, inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale over to the other side, letting the shoulder lift slightly as you roll. Bring it back to the center. This time, arms up over the head into a big V shape, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And let's roll again. Over to the right. We're going to hold it here. So feel that you've peeled off on that left side. And now press through your left foot so it pushes you a little bit further into that twist. And now the spine is coming into a little bit of extension. So you're lifting the rib cage slightly, extending into the lumbar, stretching into that hip, pushing through the left foot. Inhale, rolling everything back to the center and back to neutral. Exhale again, rolling it over to the left. Peeling off on the right side. Try and press through the right foot. So you push a little bit further into the twist. Lifting, extending the spine. And inhale, bring it all back to the center. Returning to neutral. Exhale, float the arms all the way back down by your side. And tucking the feet back in. Hip width and parallel. So some lovely release there for the spine. We're just going to even everything out slightly and come into spine curls for a moment. So settling into neutral, just make sure that the feet aren't too far away. Let's take a breath. And as you breathe out, gently tilt through the pelvis and continue to then peel the spine away from the floor. So we're lifting through the hips, try and avoid pushing up through the rib cage. Feel that you're lengthening away over the toes. Inhale at the top. Exhale as we roll it down through the center of the spine, bone by bone, and back to neutral. And let's just go for 3 more. Balancing yourself out after those rolls. Working one vertebra at a time. 1 more. Controlling it down. Spine and pelvis back to neutral. And we are going to work into the spine again, but adding a little bit more abdominal work now. We're going to come into our curl-ups. So feel free to keep your feet on the floor for these if you prefer. We're just going to float the arms back and take the hands behind the head. So interlock the fingers, cradle the back of the head, elbows lifted so you can just see them in the corner of your eyes. So keep the feet on the floor if you prefer, or if you are happy, just float the legs up one at a time into double knee fold, slightly more challenging for the abdominals. Try and avoid tilting on the pelvis and pressing the lower back into the floor. So let's take a breath. And as you breathe out, nodding the head chin to chest, and then curling yourself up. Inhale, exhale as we take it back down. 3 more. Inhale, exhale, nod the head and curling up. Inhale, exhale, take it down. So feel that you're moving from the spine. You're not pulling yourself up from the floor. So the nod of the head is really important so that you don't strain the back of your neck. And if it's too much with the feet in double knee fold, then do take them down if you prefer. And control it down with your last one. So this time coming into an oblique curl up, so working into the waist. And just to encourage a little bit more rotation through the spine, we're also going to add a reach of the arm. So I'm going to go over to the right first, so my left arm. So inhale, exhale, nod the head, start to curl up, take the left hand away, reach across to the right. So take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. So you're encouraging the rotation. Inhale as you bring the hand back and lower it down to the floor. Exhale, nod the head, curling up. Take the right hand away and reach across. Inhale as you bring the hand back and down to the floor. Exhale again, nod the head, curling up, left hand reaching across. Inhale, take the hand back and control it down. Exhale again on the other side. And inhale, take it down. 4 more if you can. Feet to the floor if it's a little bit too challenging. Follow the hand as it reaches across to the outside of the knee. Really encouraging the rotation. Well done. Lower it down and then feet to the floor. And let's take it into full body stretch again, just reaching out through the arms, through the legs, into full body stretch. So well done. Lots of movement there through the spine. So from here, if you feel you can, we'll do a roll up and come up from the floor. Or if you want to, just roll onto your side and then push yourself up. So either way, let's just take a breath, float the arms, breathing out, nod the head, curling up and roll yourself all the way up from the floor if you can, up into sitting. Well done. And we're just going to bring ourselves onto the other side for mermaid. So switching those legs round to what you did earlier on, if you can remember, to the other side. Setting up into mermaid, again use pillows and blocks if you need to, or maybe cross the legs or sit into long frog. So just take a moment to organise yourself. And let's float those arms out again to shoulder height, palms facing down. Inhale. Exhale as we come over, away from the feet, down to the hand and reaching up and over. Nice big stretch. Inhale as we restack, come out of the floor. Exhale again as we come over, onto the hand, reaching over. Inhale, restack, 2 more. Exhale, coming over. Inhale. And exhale. Well done. We're going to add that nice rotation and a little bit of lift now. So as you come over, you're just going to take the hand a little bit further back behind you. So you can look down and just lift the hips slightly out of the floor. You don't have to go too far. Lower it back down, bringing the arms over to the other side. So the back hand down to the floor and just looking down, nice big reach over. And restack, taking it over again to the other side. Hand to the floor, just lift the hips slightly. Lower it down, bring it back up and over to the other side. Again, hands to the floor and just looking down, reaching over. And up, over to the other side. Hand down, lift the hips. Lower it down, up and over to the other side. Hand back to the floor. Last time. Up and over. Hand to the floor and lift the hips. And taking it down, coming up and over to the other side for the last time. And restack back to the center. Float it down. Well done. Fantastic. We're going to come onto our front now. So just take a moment to shimmy yourself round. And coming onto your front. And we're going to bring those hands into our wide W shape for Cobra. Legs about hip width and parallel. We'll start with Cobra Prep and then add to it if you want to. So just settling onto the front of the pelvis, scooping the tummy in so you're supporting the lower back. Draw the shoulders down, connect them onto the back. Let's take a breath. And as you breathe out, brush the nose along the floor, lengthen out through the crown of the head. And just bringing the chest out of the floor, coming to the bottom of the rib cage. Inhale. Exhale as we take it down, tucking the nose back underneath you. And 3 more. Inhale. And exhale, lengthening out. And controlling it back down. So just mobilizing the upper spine. If you're feeling it in the lower back, you need to lift and scoop those abdominals in a little bit more. And maybe don't push yourself up too far. So now if you want to, you can take it into the full Cobra. So legs a little bit wider for this one, about the width of the mat, and roll the heels in towards each other. Hands in the same position, but now coming all the way out of the floor if you'd like to. So again, inhale. Exhale, brush the nose, lengthen out through the crown of the head. And continue, if you feel you can, to come all the way out of the floor. So feel that you're drawing the tummy in, lifting through the front of the hips and the pelvis, and just looking forward. Inhale. Exhale, control it down, soften the elbows. Bringing the front of the body back down. Tucking the nose back underneath you, and 3 more again. Again, try and avoid hanging into the lower back, so really get the scoop of the tummy. Feel that you lift the hips with you. Draw the shoulders down the back. Soft elbows on the way down. If it's a little bit too much, then stay at the prep level if you need to. Just come to the bottom of the rib cage. Finish your last one when you're ready. Bringing it down into the floor. Just settle for a moment. We're going to bring the legs back in about hip width and parallel. And we're just going to bring ourselves onto the hands. So we are going to briefly come into our plank position, but we're going to add a down stretch here. Really great for the spine and stretch out the back of the legs. If the plank is a little bit too much, you can do this in all fours, and I'll demonstrate that in a second. So, tucking the toes under, do shuffle forward onto the mat slightly if needed. So, tucking the toes, hands coming in alongside you, roughly in line with your shoulders. And just take a moment, if you can, to just push yourself up and into your plank position. Very briefly. If this is too much, come down onto the knees and work from there instead. But if you can, into your plank with the toes tucked under, hands underneath shoulders, take a breath. And as you breathe out, lift the hips, send yourself back as if you're trying to press the heels back to the floor. So you come into down stretch. Hold it here as you take a breath in. And as you breathe out, start to come back through with the hips and bring yourself back into plank, or if you prefer, come down onto the knees, that's fine. And we're going to do it again. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips, send the heels down and come into your down stretch. Inhale, exhale, draw the hips through into plank or knees down to the floor. Inhale, exhale, lift, send it back into down stretch. Inhale, exhale, bring it through into plank or knees down. One more time. Lift. And bring it back through into plank. When you're ready, lower the knees if you haven't already. And let's then sink it back into rest position for the last time. Well done, nice big stretch. Really great movement, that one, for the spine. Take a few deep breaths and just let yourself settle. And when you're ready with your next breath, let's just slowly start to tuck the tail. Again, rolling up through the spine. And with this one, just float the arms up with you as you restack the spine. Again, opening that front line of the body and just take yourself into a nice little back bend there in kneeling. Hold it there as you take a deep breath. As you breathe out, just circle the arms all the way around. Just bring the spine to neutral. And then we're just going to sit ourselves round, either cross-legged or into long frog position. Grab yourself pillows or blocks again if you need to for sitting. And we'll just take a moment for a little bit of release through the spine, because you've done a lot of work there. Well done. A few challenges in the mix as well this morning. So we're going to wrap the arms around us and essentially give ourselves a nice big hug. So whichever way you want to go, just cross those arms over. Try and feel for the shoulder blades on the back. And now just start to nod the head and gently round the spine. So just gently rounding, giving yourself a big hug. Hold it here, take a deep breath in. And now as you breathe out, start to restack, release the hands and reach them up into a nice big V. So opening up the chest and feel that you're shining the breastbone up towards the top of the room. Inhale, we're going to wrap the hands around again. Try and take them the opposite way now as you round the spine again and give yourself a big hug. Exhale again as we restack, open the arms, reaching and lifting through the chest. Again, inhale, wrap the hands around, rounding the spine. Exhale, restack, open up, lift the chest. One more time. Inhale, wrapping the arms around, flexing and rounding. And exhale, restack, opening up, really lift the chest. Hold it there on an inhale. And exhale now as you float the arms all the way down. Eyes forward, settling the spine into neutral. And just let the hands relax down to the floor. Feel the shoulders just drop away. Take one final deep breath in and out. And well done. We are finished. Hope you enjoyed it. There was some really lovely movement in the mix there. So I hope you feel really relaxed and kind of released, ready for the day, ready for the week ahead. So thank you very much as always.